So ReZero Season 3 Episode 5 is in the books, and let me just say, I think it's the best episode of the season so far. And in this video, we're going to have some analysis of this episode and break down what's going on and cut content. Let's get into the video. So first, let's start off that the episode was based off these chapters, chapter 35 and 36, when Subaru and Crush and Julius was facing off Capella and Roy of Gluttony. And also Arc 5, chapter 47 and 48 is the dialogue of Emilia and Regulus Cornelius and his wife, and also a little bit of the flood of Priestella. Those were the chapters that the episode was based off of. And please don't get confused, I know they're jumping around chapters. I like how the episodes are getting played out with different point of views of what's going on in each situation of multiple characters in an episode. I like that. I think it's really good. Fills out a lot of void space within the episode, and you will get confused. That's why I point out in the screen different chapters of what's going on. So I know they're jumping around different chapters. Do not get confused. So picking up from episode 4, at the very end of episode 4, in the beginning of episode 5 before the theme song, Regulus Cornelius asks that Emilia, are you a virgin? Are you a virgin? And she seems like she does not know what the heck a virgin is, and she's basically pure in the eyes of Regulus Cornelius. And this seems to put off the reflection how creepy Regulus Cornelius is. But I like Regulus Cornelius as a character. I think he's one of my favorite Center Archbishops compared to Capella. But Subaru and Regulus Cornelius actually had the same idea almost of each other. Very similar in a way. Regulus Cornelius is more demanding, like he wanted his way in a more kind of weird way than Subaru, especially when she's naked in her bed and also getting mandatory clothing for Emilia. You see how extreme Regulus Cornelius is. But I like Regulus Cornelius as a character because I like how he keeps saying, you're violating my rights, the world's all mine, and you'll listen, it's all about my beliefs and values. And I like the character he has. But right after that, with the dialogue of Emilia and Regulus Cornelius, right off the rip, you got Gluttony versus Subaru, and he had to be reminded, do not say his name. And oh my goodness, I love when Julia said little girl user, and I couldn't help but laugh. I'm like, what in the world? That's the best thing he could have thought of to say to Subaru, but he does do that. Subaru does use little girls in a way. But if you read the web novel, Arc 5, Chapter 35, that Julius actually calls Subaru a lollymincer. That was actually pretty good. He called him a lollymincer. You can see a little bit of censorship, but this episode was very gory. I mean, this was the most, if it's not the most gory episode, it could be the second most gory episode. I mean, this episode was pretty extreme. If not first, it's second, with Subaru dying to Sirius and having that fiasco with Sirius. But Subaru was like, we got bigger fish to fry, so he went on top of the building, and there goes Capella that was disguised as a little girl captive, and Capella comes right out and say, hey, I'm just kidding, this is me, y'all fall for it. And also Subaru and Crush defeated a dragon that was an imposter to Capella. And so we having a little battle, Capella versus Crush, and Crush got smacked because Subaru had to open the door and it was just a bunch of flies, and that was very disturbing. I mean, oh my goodness. And boy, and after that, Subaru just got ragdolled by Capella, and that was disturbing. I mean, her hands and her arms, she can turn into different people the way you want to, as you see them, or you like a person, she'll turn into that person, because she turned into Emilia, and that was very disturbing how she kept changing faces and stuff, basically a shapeshifter in a way. And Subaru got bit on the leg again, the injured leg, and then the dragon blood. She poured the dragon blood in the wounds. And I did a video back then in Arc 5 with the dragon blood. Check out that video about how the dragon blood is explained. While that was going on, while Subaru is getting got by Capella, Anastasia, where she stays at, got crashed by Sirius just to try to kidnap one of the very important people of Priestella. And here comes Hetero and TV, 2 out of 3 triplets, brothers of Mimi. Try to protect Anastasia so everybody can get out and Felix can help. But they try to hold off Sirius. And while that's going on, you have Reinhard dealing with Heinkel that's kidnapping Felt. And Heinkel basically gaslighting Reinhard, like, oh, you're really going to try to hurt or kill your dad, your actual father? Reinhard, you know how he is. He's not want to do anything to hurt his dad, but also not hurt Felt either. And there was a bunch of bugs, and Felt didn't like it. And that was caused by Otto. And it was an opening gap. Felt took advantage of it and hit him with the bottle. That was actually pretty funny how she just took a bottle and smacked him across the head and he fell down, down like a drunk. And while that is happening, the floodgates open in Priestella. There were buildings, explosions, fires everywhere. Garfield's getting carried away. Everybody's looking around like, what the hell's going on? And all of a sudden a dragon comes out of the dang canceled meeting room. And Capella tried to stop that dragon and stopped it a little bit, made him drop Subaru, and now he's getting flooded away. Now he's apparently drowning. And Crush getting carried off. And while that all is going on, Emilia is talking to Regulus Cornelius' wife. And she's like, do not frown. He don't like it when you frown. And while that's happening, Priestella's getting destroyed, basically in chaos. And she's like, I miss Subaru. But at the end of this episode, Capella listed 3 more demands. She wants the Book of Wisdom. They call it the Tomb of Wisdom. And it's basically Ekna's Book of Wisdom that is here. Also, the second demand is the artificial spirit needs to come forward. That's been chilling here. And remember, the artificial spirit is Biko. She was made by Ekna. That's her mother. But also, in foreshadowing here, remember what's going on in Arc 9 right now in the ReZero web novel. Basically, Al could be artificial spirit of Ekna. So, keep that in mind. But in obvious reasons, ignore that. She's talking about Beatrice. And then the episode ends. And let me say this, guys. That was a 10 out of 10 episode again. And let me say this. Season 3 is killing it with the gore and very uncensored. This episode was very uncensored, just like the others. And this was a good episode. I know there's a bunch of chapters going back and forth, like I said, mentioned earlier in the video, because of the point of views of what's going on. So they don't have a lot of filler and a lot of dead airspace in the episode. I think they did great. But I really like a little bit of funniness. There was 1 or 2 moments that was actually pretty funny in the episode when it was just a bunch of animation fighting. Beautiful animation in these fight scenes. And a lot of stuff is going on. Like important stuff that is critical in Arc 5. That made Arc 5 great. And also is going to make the season have a turning point of like, it's going to get higher and higher and higher with the extreme gore. But tell me what you think about the episode in the comments down below, and I'll see you in the next ReZero episode.